So today we'll be using Maruchan's Nama Yakisoba. This pack comes with 3 single servings, some seasoning sauce. The bag says to use whatever vegetables you'd like. So today we're going to use some white button mushrooms, some baby carrots, half an onion, some green onion, also going to use some of that for garnish, a little bit of spritz of lime at the end. Also, when I bought these at the Oriental Market, the package says these are seafood mushrooms. I just know they're mushrooms. So we're going to go and throw some of these in there too. The only other thing I'm adding besides the sauce pack here is going to be some Kadoya pure sesame oil. Let's chop this up and we'll go from there. We're going to be warming up this pan. Throw in a little bit of sesame oil. A little bit of sesame oil goes a long way. First we'll be frying up our carrots and onions because they take a little longer to cook. Then our mushrooms that we have here with a little bit of green onion. We cut most of it up. The rest is going to be reserved for garnish. So the recipe calls for the vegetables to be cooked part way, taken off the heat, then the noodles cooked, then the vegetables added back into it. So we're going to try to follow those directions as closely as possible. Everything here first, we follow directions. So the first time we do recipes here on this channel, we're going to try to follow the recipe as close as possible with the ingredients as close as I can get them. I understand some recipes call for items that I might not be able to locate or get in the small market I have near here. Given time and resources, I will try out and experiment with more recipes I've never done, and we will go from there. So I think it's time to fry up. Got these bowls. These will be my, what do you even call those? We're not going to be adding any other spices or salt, pepper. We're not going to be adding anything. The recipe didn't call for it, although it did say add whatever vegetables you'd like. I'm pretty sure we could get away with it. But strictly for this one, we're just going to do straight vegetables and the little packet that came in with it. You know, I'm thinking the carrots are a little thicker than the onions. Maybe I should have thrown them on a little earlier, but that's not going to be an issue, I suppose. We'll just have a nice crunch. You know, the great thing about recording this is that I can see how much time it's actually been cooking, and that helps me quite a bit, to be honest. Okay, now we're going to throw in the mushrooms. I've got a bowl here so that I can transfer out all the items once we get to that point. You can already smell those mushrooms, even though not many of them have touched the bottom of the pan. I might cook it 3/4 of the way instead of halfway as the recipe calls. Just because I don't suppose those noodles are going to take really long to cook, and then I don't want to overcook them. I want those noodles to be al dente when I serve them. Come on. There we go. Normally I'd like really grilled onions and some really nice grilled mushrooms, but I didn't plan ahead. Most of the onions are already getting a nice translucent color. I think it's just about time to pull them. Alright, let's go ahead and evacuate all this. We throw in the noodles. Shomp. That's it, we're done. I'm kidding. Recipe calls for 1/4 cup of water. We'll go ahead and add that now. It says mostly to loosen the noodles. The last time I made this a year or two ago, I did way more than 1/4 cup of water, and I ended up turning it into just some like basic ramen noodles. So again, this is why we're following the instructions. Once we figure out how things are done, then we can go back in and experiment and try new things. Alright, now that they're loosened, we'll add the vegetables back and all the oil they still retained. And last but not least, we're going to be adding the Yakisoba Three. Unfortunately, I have no bread, so we're not going to be having any of this in hot dog buns or anything. This over here is stuck down. I didn't work fast enough, and yes, I destroyed some of the noodles. Shame on me. Gotta stop playing around. It looks like some of the vegetables soaked up more of that yakisoba sauce than the noodles did. It's not a problem. It's no biggie. Alright, so before any more of this sticks, this looks like it's done. We're going to go ahead and plate it up. Well, bowl in this case. Almost done. Wow, this is looking pretty good. So, little spritz of lime. You couldn't see that because of the angle of the camera, and I apologize. Next time, I'm thinking maybe we can use a little bit of cilantro. Or cilantro. Green onion garnish. There we go. And here we go. Yakisoba with vegetables. So I'm hoping we can just slide this off right on top of the yakisoba. Anyhow, alright, this is going to be the second recipe we're going to try with the yakisoba noodle. We have some carrots and some onions here. I've already poured a little bit of sesame oil and vegetable oil into the pan. The reason why it looks like there's a little bit more oil is because I want to kind of fry up the vegetables a little bit to give this a bit more flavor, since it's going into some we're going to try yakisoba pan. I'm going to try one fresh right after it's done cooking. The other one I'm going to wrap up, throw into the fridge, and we'll give it a try in the morning. Alright, so let's turn this on. Get it ripping hot. As frying suggests, we're going to keep it at one medium to medium high temperature. Get everything cooked, remove it from the heat, and then we'll plate it up. I don't believe these vegetables are going to render a lot of liquid, so I'm still going to add the 1/4 cup the recipe calls for from the package. I wanted the noodles to absorb as much liquid as possible. I feel like with the pan, the liquid spread out and the noodles weren't able to hydrate as evenly. So let's get frying. Yakisoba is meant to have a light kind of sticking to the noodle sauce, and it's not really sweet as it might seem like it is. Now you might be thinking, noodles? Bread? It's a lot of starch. And you're right, it is a lot of starch. But this meal is meant to keep you full, and it's meant to be satisfying. It's not necessarily meant to be healthy. And here in America, we know all about that. Now this pan is just, it's been through some times, you know?